So Macquarie wants to achieve the greatest social impact it can. And a few years ago, we commissioned some research that showed there was a gap between employers wanting to attract and retain young people into entry-level roles and young people who are keen to access those roles. And what we have now is a portfolio of fantastic community partners who are really working together in different ways and doing different approaches to help young people along the journey to secure decent, meaningful employment.
We have spent quite a long time trying to understand what's going on for young people in the labour market, and that includes talking to young people about what's happening. And what we have found is that while there are a range of supports and assistance out there for young people, the opportunity that's lacking is employers giving them that go. So employers are looking for people with experience, with skills. What we really need to do and look at is how we can get employers to rethink their hiring practices.
We really think about how we support young people in employment in a few ways. First is that we actually run our own novel employment model. So we've employed over 150 young people across Australia over the past 7 years. At an entry level, no previous qualification required. And what we really do is think about how we employ them and really utilise and nurture their own lived experience as a real asset that they can bring to our work in co-design with organisations. So the real value for us in receiving core operating expense funding is that it really values the true impact of the work that we're trying to do and understands that in order to create impact with young people, we need a certain level of strategic flexibility so that we can really not have to worry about kind of chasing our tails with always finding new funding or always delivering new programs to sustain our funding, and can actually really double down on the impact we're trying to create.
Our approach is very much demand-led, so we work with employers to understand exactly what they need in terms of entry-level talent. Then we design our programs to ensure that those people coming through are actually ready to work from day one, so solving the issues of scarcity, retention, as well as productivity in the job. We also then consider the participants and their stories and build wraparound support to ensure that they're in a great place to actually enter into the workforce and be successful over the long term rather than just that first job.
What the Macquarie Grant has allowed us to do is build the foundations and continue to build on what we do, which is obviously trying to facilitate these job partnerships, but really work on scaling that with a sound base. And if we didn't have sort of my role or people underneath me to help out, we just wouldn't be able to scale or deliver our program.
Macquarie Group Foundation funding has been fundamental in getting us to this point. So doing the sort of R&D, the experimentation to find a model that we think really attacks this question about the gap between employers and young people. And now, with 3 years of funding, we're looking at 3 years of being able to grow that model, experiment, continue to innovate so that we can make impact at scale.